Hi, I'm Rob Massa. I'm the Managing Director of Qualified Plan Advisors in Houston, Texas. I'm also known as the Foracle, the Retirement Pro, or the 401k Guru. I want to welcome you again to my blog. Today I'm talking to participants about target date funds, which is probably the most highly used investment in 401k and 403b plans, and yet most participants I talk to don't really understand them. So today I'm going to give you a little bit more insight into them and maybe give you a couple tips along the way. First, a target date fund is designed as a do-it-yourself investment. It's a preset portfolio with stocks, bonds, and cash already under the hood. So it actually is diversified, and you don't really need to invest in anything more than one target date fund to be properly diversified. The problem with target date funds is just because you're invested in one doesn't necessarily mean it fits you personally. For example, if you're age 40 today, it's the end of 2020. So what your default portfolio would tell you, or your default design would tell you, is that you should be in the 2045 fund because you're going to roughly retire at year 2045, which is 25 years away. However, what about what's under the hood? Each target date fund has a different design for that 2045 fund. Some people say you should be 80% stocks in that one. Others say 70%. Others say 90%. So there's a lot of risk and volatility in the portfolio. The good thing about target dates funds is as you get closer and closer to your retirement date, it's going to reduce the risk automatically, which is a really nice feature because you don't have to think about that as to how much to be in bonds and stocks. It'll do it for you automatically. The challenging thing, I think, is this isn't necessarily what fits you in the first place. So my first tip to everybody is make sure that you understand what your retirement date might be. Make a projection and go to the Social Security website and get a sense of what your Social Security benefit's going to be. Because most people are actually going to get full Social Security benefits at age 67, not 65. And since target dates are targeting you at age 65, there's a 2-year gap you need to think about. Secondly, do a risk profile. We have one available certainly on our website, but there's also on any 401k and 403b website somewhere's a risk profile. And I ask you to take that test and see what it says the type of investor you are. So for example, let's say you're in the 2045 fund and it has a 80% stock allocation, but your risk profile says you're more like a 60% stock allocation, which would be more like a balanced investor. That means that the fund you're going to be in is more aggressive than you're comfortable with, and you may want to adjust for that. Doesn't mean you have to, but you should consider it. The point being is that target dates are great tools, but you need to understand how they work. Just because it says you're going to retire at 2045 doesn't mean you'll actually have enough money to do so. The number one determinant of retirement success is how much you put into the plan. This is absolutely true. If you did a study was done a while ago, and it showed that somebody who had 5% earnings per year put in 7% of pay, and compared to somebody who got 7% return, but only put in 5% of pay, assuming their earnings were the same. Otherwise, assuming their savings were the same. Otherwise, the person making 5% a year would actually have more at retirement. And that's because the number one determinant is how much you contribute. So I want you to keep in mind, am I contributing enough? And how am I investing and saving? And am I comfortable with that risk? I hope this has been helpful. You're welcome to reach out to me at rmass@qualifiedplanadvisors.com or just connect with me right here on LinkedIn. Just use your camera and your QR code will come up and you can connect with me on LinkedIn and ask me any question you like. I'm always happy to help. And I wish you all a successful retirement. Thank you.